Okay, I got a new set. I'm very excited about it. It's the Mission Force Space Crew. You can see the box is kind of weird. Same with the plastic shell and the tape marks here because I got it used. But everything is new in the package, so looks like it's been in someone's bin the whole time. So there's the back of the box. There's one thing I'd really like to get, which is the cliffhanger airport set. But I looked on eBay. I've looked everywhere. I can't find it. So if you spot one, just send me the link in the comments, and I'll take a look. Yeah, there's the set. One thing about that, one update I'd like to say is that I found another space shuttle. Because here's Discovery, the one that I've already gotten, and then I found Atlantis. So that's kind of a big win. But also, this pack here in front of you, this Dream Chaser there for as to how they would look on the launch pad. But however, about the Dream Chaser, it wouldn't be outside like how the shuttle would. It'd be in a capsule, and then that would shed away once it reaches orbit, and then it would detach, do its thing, and then it would head home in its form, and then it would get put back in the capsule. It's just basically like saving the integrity of the ship itself, if that makes any sense. So when this just arrived at the door, there's something that I don't like about these contracted delivery drivers like Dragonfly, Intelcom, Uni, and all that, right? So they use their own cars. I think they use their own cars. But the thing is that this driver, like a fair majority of the drivers, I'm not being racist or anything, but a fair majority are East Indians, and they walk around in this complex that's really quiet, really quaint, and they have their phone on speaker at the highest volume. So, and then I say in a disguised voice, "Can you turn your phone off speaker, please?" And he looks at me through the window, and then I go up to the door, I grab the package, and the package it came in was damaged. Like there were rips in it, there were dents, there were all this type of stuff. And I didn't take a picture of it at the time because I wasn't thinking. And I was like, the gall of these people, the gall of these drivers, like they're so, like, they're not professional, they're not taking it seriously, like they're talking to whoever, and it's like, I'd rather have a nice UPS or FedEx man drop off the package, like all nice and prim and proper and such, but instead we get these contracted guys that aren't even doing anything, they're just doing it for the money. And probably their family owns the business of the contractor, so it's just something that really grinds my gears. That's my episode rant. Yeah, I'm just putting these there. So we're gonna start off with the land vehicles now. So we're doing the delivery van first. So this is the express delivery from 2009. It's made in Thailand. Everything that's made in Thailand has a little elephant there. And this one, I don't have my nails on. I don't have nails on me. Like, I just keep biting them and such. So we're just gonna grab something to use. Okay, so I will grab, I'll actually use a seam ripper here. There. Now clicked. And there. Now the door's open. There. See? Look at that. It's got like a nice little rough shuttle outlet. Aerospace Mobile Command Center. So this would be either where the astronauts would get transported to the launch pad, or it would have like some sort of like mobile command center inside, like how in the show SWAT they have this big truck that rolls around that's like kind of like a portable headquarters sort of thing. But I feel like this wouldn't be big enough to fit it. So it's just your typical like FedEx, UPS van, delivery van, whatever it is. Like if you've like gotten a package through UPS or FedEx, you definitely see a van like that. It's those Grumman delivery vans. Like if you live in the States, it's similar to the U.S. Postal Service vans. Canada had something a bit different, but I actually found this tool that I got in Germany. It's just nice. It's a really nice magnifying glass. Like look at that. Like look at that. Like look at that. Like look at that. And it's all the way over there. So it's got a number 88 on the front. I could actually use this in the videos. It's got stars for some of you who don't have that great of a sight. And it's got a nice sunroof in there, which realistically it wouldn't. But I guess it would be great for observation of the shuttle or spacecraft leaving the atmosphere. So we're just going to put them right here for now. Right beside the Pan Am 747. So I have another package on the way that is... It's a secret, but it's going to come out... It's coming today, but the video for it will come out in the next few days after this video. So I will let you guys know when it comes out, but I'll be filming it today. So here we have aerospace tracking vehicles. This is part of the Real Working Rigs series. Freightliner Business Class M2-106 Satellite Communications Truck 2010. Real Working Rigs number 030. I guess that's version 1702. But it's got 2 radar dishes. They fold down like that. Or they fold down like... Oh boy. How did it go? Here we go. It's just like that. Like that. It comes out. Does that. So I'm assuming that it would turn, like for just traveling. It'd go like that, or it would go like this, or it would go like that. I don't know. But they would sit at wherever far enough away. This is more the size of a mobile command center. So they would, because if it's somewhere that doesn't have the big infrastructure, like say Kennedy Space Center, like if they launched out of Vandenberg, yes, they have a launch pad there for the shuttle. They would use this guy, most likely. I'm just speculating here. But they would use it there, or if the shuttle was going to land at Edwards Air Force Base instead of in Florida, where it usually does, then they would have something like this, just tracking them, because it's not a permanent space center like what Kennedy is, or the ones in Florida. So they'd have something that's mobile and that can track them. They probably have this guy here, this guy there too. Let's just actually use this again. So it's got a number 18 on the side. And it's got some really nice detailing, actually. I actually like it a lot. It's really nice. Yeah, it's a really nice truck. Like, it's got some nice design on the front. It's like really detailed well. And so let's just bring you backwards. Look at the front. Yeah, see, it's got the little Freightliner logo on there. I'm just gonna clean the dust off of this magnifying glass. I got this one in Germany from a family friend. And they're really nice. They actually showed me some pretty cool stuff over there. Yeah, I like this guy. It's really nice. It's solid. It's heavy. It's big. It's the thing about those older sets where they have like the big trucks. Like, for example, that one fire one that I got with the helicopter, the scooper, that came with the big ladder truck. I just love them. They're big. They're nice. They're hefty. They're good quality. And then the early 2010s come around, and they're like, oh, it's too much money to build them. So they discontinued them. And then late 2010s, they're like, oh, we made a big fuck up by not continuing to build them. So then they rebuilt them again. A new line. So next we're going to go on to the space vehicles. This one is the Aeroblast. Now, if you've been a keen eye and looking at the background, yes, I do have another Aeroblast. Except this one is basically the same one that I had since I was 8. I remember it distinctly. When I was 8, I got it for Christmas in the stocking. But then my mom was like, "Oh, you're too old. You can get rid of those." I'm like, "No, I'm not getting rid of these. I love them." So now my collection has grown substantially more than what I've had when I was a kid. Because this thing was discontinued around before 2005. So that's an example. So it's just your typical Aeroblast. Like, it's got the 2 vertical exhaust nozzles, and it's got 9 separate windows. This is for like where the crew is, and then it looks inspired from the Virgin Galactic spacecraft. Looks a lot like that. I'm actually gonna put this truck right there, like that. So it's something. It's a yeah. There's a little access port. I think they would either dock there, or they would enter the spacecraft in orbit. That's assuming where they would dock and offload the people, because I'm guessing that it's strictly personnel that are in that craft and not cargo, just based off of the design. But I like this. I like this livery really well. I like it a lot. It's really nice. Come on. Yeah, see? I like them a lot. It's something that's really cool. And it's something that shows promise in the space realm. Sierra Nevada Corporation, if you're watching, you should make something like this. Or Virgin Galactic. Make something like this. If Bezos or Musk see this video, you guys can just go fuck yourselves with a plastic cock. Well, a titanium cock that's 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Just by looking at this, because this one is... Oh, no, it's not. Okay, the wings are separate. The wings are actually separate. There's a line here. The wings are separate. So the wings are separate, and then the bottom shielding is a separate piece to the wings. I was wondering, it's like, is the bottom white, or it'll be red? And it was red, and it's red. So there's my answer. That's been answered. So there's one Aeroblast, and then there's a second Aeroblast. I'm building a nice little space agency here. Okay, last and final one. You will never guess who it is. It's Endeavor. I like this one a lot. Here's one thing that I realized. They're still making the shuttle. Matchbox is still making the shuttle. However, I recently saw it was this really older NASA shuttles where it says USA on the wing. It doesn't have the flag or the name. It's got the early ones from like the 70s, and it didn't say anything. So I'm like, I just thought as to which ones were the oldest, Columbia and Challenger, the ones that were oldest that went up into space. Enterprise never left the atmosphere. It never did. It was just a test bed that was strapped to the top of a 747. So my knowledge says, oh, that's either Columbia or Challenger. So I'm like, okay, let's go do some digging. I look around, I don't see it. The only place I saw it was this obscure, interesting, it's kind of like eBay, but it's Nigeria's version of eBay, so it made me skeptical. I'm like, I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to wait till it's more out in the public eye. So, yeah. Or I'm just going to keep with what I have. Discovery, Atlantis, and now Endeavor. Yeah, I've got so Atlantis, Discovery, Endeavor. Yeah, those were the 3 that were still active. Those were the 3 that were still active. Discovery and Challenger went, did their thing. I'm not going to go into detail out of respect of the crew that passed away, but those were the last 3 that were still actively flying. Enterprise never saw the pad. It never left. It only was on a 747. And to give you that sort of vision, the shuttle, so they had a 747. They modified the hell out of it. I looked at some of the older pictures with Enterprise on it, and it looked kind of like an old American Airlines 747 with the straight metal, the bare metal. But then they later switched the colors. So it would prop up, would sit like that. The proportions here aren't great, but you can sort of have an idea. If you look up NASA SCA or NASA 747 SCA or 747 SCA, you could see that the shuttle is sitting up on the top of the 747. It just sits there chilling, and what they used it for is whenever a shuttle landed at Edwards Air Force Base, which is one of their landing grounds aside from Kennedy, they would land it on the desert, the dry lake bed. Then they would tow it over to those big cranes. Like if you have any flight simulator, like any Microsoft Flight Simulator or Lockheed Martin Prepared or anything like that on your computer, just go to Edwards Air Force Base. You'll see what I'm talking about. They've got this big 747 and a space shuttle on the crane, loading it onto the 747. Now, you may be thinking, what about the Soviet Union? What do they have? I'm glad you asked. They had the exact same thing. Well, it was similar, but the back didn't even look like that. It didn't even have boosters like that. So they strapped it onto the Energia rocket, which is a big, huge rocket. I think it's like the largest propulsion system, rocket propulsion system in the world. And they launched it up into space. Like, they only flew it once. It was November 15th, 1988. How I know that is that I'm writing a story of where the CIA is stealing both Buran 1.01 and 1.02, the two orbiters that were supposed to be used with the Soviet, later Russian space program, but then the Soviet Union was like, we can't afford it, so you're decommissioned. You could still go and see it at Baikonur in Kazakhstan. They have a whole museum and all, and it's all out there. But it was autonomous. The only flight it had was an uncrewed autonomous flight. And if you think about the space shuttle, that was not autonomous. So say on re-entry, the space shuttle's crew goes quiet or it gets incapacitated for some reason, then you can, but it'll turn out bad. But in the Buran, it will land itself, like the co-pilot or someone else could like reach up, flip a switch, and it'll land itself, which is what it did. And what they used to haul it, what they used to carry their shuttle, was this weird. It's a weird. It looks, well, it's just a modified bomber that, you try and find it here. I have a book that has a whole bunch of shit in it. I think, okay, let's see here. So, I'm just trying to see where it would be. I have a book where I know where it is. Yeah, here it is. So, the book, okay, so I'm just trying to find it. Hijklm, it's M, it's Miesashev. Here it is, Miesashev. Oh boy. So, all it is, really, all the shuttle carrier is, all the Russian shuttle carrier is a thing called a Miesashev M4 Bison. But what they did with it is they modified it heavily. They changed out the whole tail section, and they put the Buran on it. if you look up VMT Atlant, which is what it was, yeah, see, okay, so it says right here, today, the Bison is most visible as a civil VMT Atlant used to carry outsized cargoes, aka the Energia Buran or the Buran. So that tells you that they were slow and behind of how they were going to carry their shuttle around the country, like to Moscow for air shows or whatever air show there was around at the time. So they decided to make something you've probably heard of, the AN-225, which I don't have a model of. Don't criticize me. I just couldn't find a good one. But it's the same concept as the 747. It's the whole same thing, but the attachment points are way different. I think there's 4 attachment points compared to NASA's 3. Because if it makes sense, NASA has one here and then on the wings. So makes sense because I think Energia had 4 connection points. I can't quite remember, but it's the same. It's the same thing. It's basically the same thing, but with a high wing 6-engine jet that no longer, sadly no longer exists. But this is just your typical space shuttle Endeavour. It's got the NASA on the wings, the U.S. flag, which should be upside down based off recent political events. Endeavour, Atlantis, and Discovery were the last 3 to fly, and the last flight, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it was either Atlantis or Endeavour that were the last ones to fly. And yeah, those were the last 3 to ever really fly, which I'm sad that they don't fly them anymore, but I'm kind of happy that somewhat of the space shuttle's concepts came into our future Dream Chaser here. That has sort of a similar nose to the shuttle, just similar. It's sort of similar. I watched a documentary with, believe it or not, Richard Hammond from Top Gear. Yeah, it's Richard Hammond from Top Gear and Grand Tour, where it was a whole like mega engineering or whatever it was called documentary about the space shuttle, and they didn't use pointed noses because the shockwave would have gone onto the wings and added more heat and stress. But with a rounded nose, the shockwave would go around the wings and decrease the stress and the heat onto the wings, therefore making it less stressful on the airframe. But the Aeroblast here has a bit of a sharper nose, so that's a bit more of a problem. Unless he's going in like that. Or unless there's something here that is at play here. I don't know, but unless these doors here underneath, like right there and right there, have rockets that slow it down more and slow it down a lot, that the re-entry is more smoother, then that would make a lot more sense. If you catch my satellite drift. If you catch my orbital decay. I'm just trying to give space puns here just to lighten the mood. But yeah, that's the Space Force, not Space Force, what the fuck was it called? Mission Force Space Crew from Matchbox. What year was this though? From what year? Tell me the year. 2011. 2011. Near around the same time that they were starting to realize that, rear working rigs are too expensive. No, they're not. They're popular. But yeah, that's my That's my 2 cents to give for this set. I like it a lot. My favorites are actually these two and the big command truck. I'm not a fan of the delivery van though. I don't like it. It looks more like a food truck or an ice cream van. I'm not a fan of it. However, it is a nice model. I do like it a lot. It's just your stereotypical delivery van. It's nothing too special, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's its thing. Yeah. So, also, I have made a breakthrough as to what some of the rocket fuels are. SpaceX uses hydrogen and a whole bunch of toxic ones, while Sierra Space and Dream Chaser, well, it says Sierra Nevada on there, but it's now Sierra Space, they use methane and a few other ones, which are way cleaner for the environment and have less unburned hydrocarbons. Therefore, less toxic, therefore, better. Therefore, SpaceX, you could fucking fuck yourself. Anyways, yeah, Sierra Space, make this thing. Blue Origin or SpaceX, you guys could just go suck a fucking egg. An ostrich or an emu egg at that, because you'll probably die from that. But yeah. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.